7:30 p.m. A cool November evening in downtown Panama City, Florida. The parking lot of the Jenks Professional Center is bustling with people heading home after a long day. Among them is 57-year-old Tammy Chambers. Tammy is a therapist, a legacy builder who spends her days helping families navigate trauma. She's sitting in her sedan, engine idling, on the phone with her husband. It's the most mundane conversation possible. They are planning dinner. Then, the line goes dead in a horrific explosion of noise. 15 shots, fired in seconds at point-blank range. Tammy's husband hears it all happen live over the phone. Tammy wasn't involved in a drug deal. She wasn't in a gang. She was just a woman trying to go home to her family. But in the eyes of the teenager standing outside her window, she was a target. And the reason why she died is a tragic tale of mistaken identity and a justice system that failed in the worst possible way. The attack was swift, brutal, and completely blind. According to police affidavits, the shooter approached Tammy's vehicle in that busy parking lot and didn't hesitate. He didn't tap on the glass. He didn't look inside to verify who was behind the wheel. Driven by paranoia and adrenaline, he simply raised a 9mm handgun and unleashed a barrage of fire. Ballistics later confirmed 15 rounds were fired into the sedan. Tammy was struck 6 times in the head, neck, and torso. She never had a chance. The shooter and an accomplice immediately fled the scene, disappearing into the Florida night, leaving a husband on the other end of a phone line screaming into the void. Panama City police arrived within 2 minutes, at 7:32 p.m., but the damage was done. The scene was chaotic. Shell casings littered the asphalt. Initial detectives were baffled. Who would want to assassinate a beloved mental health counselor in cold blood? Was it a disgruntled client? A random act of violence? But here's the twist no one expected. As investigators began pulling surveillance footage and interviewing shaken witnesses, they realized the shooter hadn't come for Tammy at all. He had come for someone else entirely. The breakthrough came fast. Within 36 hours, the police had their suspects and their identities sent a shockwave of outrage through the community. The gunman was identified as 18-year-old Davion Sutton. Sutton wasn't an unknown entity in Bay County. In 2022, at just 15 years old, he was convicted of 3 attempted murders. He was sentenced to 4 years. But Davion Sutton didn't serve for years. He served 18 months. On November 2nd, 2025, just 9 days before Tammy Chambers was killed, Sutton was released from prison on probation. 9 days. According to confessions later obtained by police, Sutton had reconnected with 16-year-old Uriah Armstead, an associate he'd met behind bars. On the night of the murder, Sutton was paranoid. He believed a prison yard rival was in the area and might be armed. When Sutton saw Tammy's sedan in the parking lot, he mistakenly believed it belonged to that rival. He didn't care to check, he just started shooting. Tammy Chambers lost her life because her car looked like someone else's. And this is where things get darker. The investigation revealed it wasn't just 2 teenagers involved in this horrific mistake. The rot went deeper into the family. Following the shooting, Sutton and his 16-year-old accomplice fled back to a nearby home on Jenks Avenue. This is where Uriah's mother, Camilla Armstead, enters the picture. Instead of turning the boys in, authorities allege she tried to help them cover their tracks. The murder weapon, that 9mm handgun, was recovered at her home. It had been wiped clean. But ballistics don't lie. The casings at the scene matched the gun. The manhunt for the actual shooter, Davion Sutton, didn't last long. U.S. Marshals tracked him down to Tallahassee the very next evening. The trio, the shooter, the accomplice, and the mother who allegedly harbored them, were all in cuffs in less than 2 days. Panama City Police Chief Mark Smith didn't mince words at a press conference. He called it a senseless tragedy where a prison beef turned into murder because of a complete disregard for human life. The confessions sealed it. This was reckless endangerment escalated to the highest degree. A felon in possession of a firearm, out on probation, hunting a rival and killing an innocent woman instead. But that wasn't the end of it. The community is now demanding answers from the system that let this happen. As of late November 2025, Tammy Chambers has been laid to rest. At a vigil, 7 of her closest friends remembered her as the person who always listened, the healer who helped others through their darkest times. Now, her husband is left with the memory of those final, brutal gunshots over the phone. Davion Sutton, the 18-year-old who enjoyed just 9 days of freedom before taking a life, was denied bond at his first appearance. He faces murder charges. His juvenile accomplice's records are sealed, but he is facing murder charges as well. The trials are slated for early 2026, But the anger in Panama City isn't going away. This case has ignited a furious debate about Florida's revolving door justice system and juvenile sentencing. Tammy Chambers was doing everything right. She was just commuting home. Her death is a terrifying reminder that in a world washed in street violence, anyone can become collateral damage in someone else's war. What do you think? Should the system that released Sutton after only 18 months be held accountable for Tammy's death? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to see justice served for Tammy Chambers, hit that subscribe button as we follow this case to trial.